Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. We all have resistances. We live with a perpetual armor around ourselves, to defend against change, and the intrusive actions of friends and rivals. We would like nothing more than to be left to do things our own way. Constantly butting up against these resistances will cost you a lot of energy. One of the most important things to realize about people is that they all have a weakness. Some part of their psychological armor that will not resist, that will bend to your will, if you find it, and push on it. Some people wear their weaknesses openly, others disguise them. Those who disguise them are often the ones most effectively undone through that one chink in their armor. In your games of power, you always look several steps ahead and plan accordingly. You can exploit the fact that other people are more emotional and incapable of such foresight. Playing on their vulnerabilities, the areas over which they have least control, will give you the upper hand. In the realm of power, there are 6 principles used to find weaknesses in people. Number 1. Pay attention to gestures and unconscious signals. This is the critical concept in the search for a person's weakness. It is revealed by seemingly unimportant gestures and passing words. The key is not only what you look for, but where and how you look. Everyday conversation supplies the richest mine of weaknesses, so train yourself to listen. Start by always seeming interested. The appearance of a sympathetic ear will spur anyone to talk. Appear to open up to the other person, to share a secret with them. This will usually elicit a response that reveals a weakness. If you suspect that someone has a particular soft spot, probe for it indirectly. If, for instance, you sense that a man has a need to be loved, openly flatter him. If he laps up your compliments, no matter how obvious, you are on the right track. Train your eye for details. How someone tips a waiter, what delights a person, or the hidden messages in the way they dress. Find people's idols, the things they worship and will do anything to get. Playing to someone's fantasies is always a powerful move. The point is this. Since we all try to hide our weaknesses, there is little to be learned from our conscious behavior. What oozes out in the little things, outside our conscious control, is what you want to know. Number 2. Find the helpless child within the adult. Most weaknesses begin in childhood, before the self builds up compensatory defenses. Perhaps the child was pampered or indulged in a particular area. Or perhaps a certain emotional need went unfulfilled. As he or she grows older, the indulgence or the deficiency may be buried, but never disappears. One sign of this weakness is that when you touch on it, the person will often act like a child. Be on the lookout, then, for any behavior that should have been outgrown. If your victims or rivals went without something important, such as parental support, when they were children, supply it. If they reveal a secret taste, a hidden indulgence, indulge it. In either case, they will be unable to resist you. These people are often looking for an adult figure to take control. Push the type who cannot make decisions into bold ventures. They will have to depend on you even more, for you will become the adult figure whom they rely on, to get them out of scrapes and to safety. Number 3. Look for contrasts. An overt trait often conceals its opposite. People who thump their chests are often big cowards. A prudish exterior may hide a lustful soul. The uptight are often screaming for adventure. The shy are dying for attention. Timid souls often yearn to be bold. Yet they lack the inner strength. Push them into taking bold action that serves your needs, while also making them dependent on you. By probing beyond appearances, you will often find people's weaknesses in the opposite of the qualities they reveal to you. So look to the opposites, and never take appearances at face value. Number 4. Find the weak link. Sometimes in your search for weaknesses it is not what, but who, that matters. There is often someone, behind the scenes, who has great power and influence over the person superficially on top. It could be a husband or wife, a girlfriend or boyfriend, a mother or father, a favorite, or anyone close. These behind-the-scene power brokers are the group's weak link. And your focus must be on them. Win their favor, and you indirectly influence the king. Also, understand there is a weak link in every group. Find that one person who will bend to pressure. Number 5. Fill the emotional void. The two main emotional voids to fill are insecurity and unhappiness. And both these types of people are the least able to disguise their weaknesses. The insecure are suckers for any kind of social validation. With the unhappy, look for the roots of their unhappiness. People's need for validation and recognition, their need to feel important, is the best kind of weakness to exploit. It is almost universal, and exploiting it is so very easy. All you have to do is make people feel better about their taste, their social standing, their intelligence. By filling these emotional voids, you are giving them what they cannot get on their own. To them that is worth any price. The insecure and unhappy are riddled with weaknesses, and have needs that you can fill. The ability to fill their emotional voids is a great source of power, and one you can exploit for long periods of time. Number 6. Feed on uncontrollable emotions. Always look for passions and obsessions that cannot be controlled. The stronger the passion, the more vulnerable the person. Passionate people look strong, but they are simply filling the stage with their theatricality, distracting people from how weak and helpless they really are. For example, a man's need to conquer women actually reveals a tremendous helplessness. The uncontrollable emotion can be a paranoid fear, a fear disproportionate to the situation. Or any base motives that are most visible, such as lust, greed, vanity or intense hatred. These are the emotions they cannot hide, and over which they have the least control. And what people cannot control, you can control for them. Be aware. Guard yourself against those who would try and exploit your own weaknesses. Do not be naive. Acknowledge that you, like everyone, has weaknesses. Take some time to examine yourself, and what your weaknesses may be. There are wolves among us who, given the opportunity, will use your weaknesses to manipulate you, for their benefit. Also understand that playing on people's weaknesses has one significant danger. You may stir up an action you cannot control. When you play on their vulnerabilities, the areas over which they have least control, you can unleash emotions that will upset your plans. Push timid people into bold action, and they may go too far. Answer someone's need for attention or recognition, and they may need more than you want to give them. The helpless childish element you are playing on can turn against you. The more emotional the weakness, the greater the potential danger. Know the limits to this game. You are after power, not the thrill of control. So never get carried away by your control over your victims.